Hello, welcome back. Very happy to make that I'm able to make this video now. Took me a long time, over a year, far over a year, which is relatively long. Boards of Canada. Yeah, I know 1 or 2 years ago I already did a video about Boards of Canada, about their music, how and why I like them. But it was about the reissues. And since then, a lot has changed in my habits of collecting vinyl and other things. And as I told in the first video, when it comes to this 90s music, this IDM, intelligent dance music, trip hop, electronic ambient music, Boards of Canada is very, very special to me. And so I decided to look for the original pressings. At the beginning I thought, oh, that's easy, we're talking 1998 here. Easy. No, not easy at all. Even during my 2 visits in Den Bosch, the largest record fair in the world, I haven't found one. Not one. And when it comes to bands or music or records that are very, very dear to me, I want copies as perfect as possible. And this makes it even way more difficult to get. But finally, I was able to find them, I was able to get them, I was listening to them, I compared them to the reissues, and this video is about the result, my impression, my experience, again a little bit about the music and the fact, and I say that here now, that I intend to, as I will buy and bought several originals now from this area and a certain label, I will get into it a bit more, and doing so, I again, and I have that so often, when I hear 1998, this seems so close, but it's 25 years, the quarter of a century. So the records we are talking here about now are in general roughly a quarter of a century. Unbelievable. Yeah, Boards of Canada. Boards of Canada. Name is a little misleading. They are not from Canada. The name comes from their love for the documentaries of the National Board of Canada. They loved these documentaries, and so they were inspired by them, and hence the name. The duo itself comes from Scotland, Edinburgh. So a British band, important. You know, maybe this video is also being watched by people who don't know them or don't know them that well. And so I'd like to explain or give you my opinion. Who will like this? Who will like this music? And I think that everybody who likes, for example, Kraftwerk, this 80s new wave synth pop, house, ambient, try this, get into this. And my recommendation with which album to start, and it's my favorite record of Boards of Canada, is Music Has the Right to Children. This is a fantastic double album. Yeah, I use the word now, soulful, beautiful, striking. It's an amazing album. Give it the time, listen to it. It's a stunner. It's a stunner. This is one of the best representatives of the music in this genre and at this time, and in my opinion, very, very accessible. Boards of Canada started with an EP, very, very small numbers, and the critics were totally hyped. And so when they really built up the ground, and when this album came out, it was so highly regarded and is so highly regarded until today, that the legacy of this band really stands up. And Righteous, so it's a very, very special band, very, very interesting, and no wonder in a way when I think about it now that these records are so hard to get. And maybe I can give you an impression, I hope at least I can, when I talk about what do I mean when I talk about a real good copy. And I don't show everything, not everyone, because these are quite, so this is for me. Good indicator always is a spindle hole. See, this is in a quite good shape. The vinyl, yeah, it's there's nothing on it. There is nothing on it, which is important when it comes to this music, in my opinion, because it has a lot of silent parts, and when you have this campfire editions, those beaten up copies, this really can ruin the experience. Although, again, but if you get into this quality, this gets expensive nowadays. It just does, and it's usually if you find these kind of copies, forget the Discogs prices in a way. Of course, you always can get lucky. Don't get me wrong, but you get more unlucky than lucky, like it is in life. So if these albums are not where we say, no, I don't want to pay this much for this kind of records or this music, the reissues, they are fine. They do sound very, very good. And so I also myself, I was quite interested in these particular comparison, because I've always said, and I still say, that those reissues are well done. What's also worth mentioning is that this is the original, the jacket of the original, also in a pristine shape. They have done the jackets exactly like the originals, also from the paper, from everything. Really, really good, very well made. So, and then of course I compared them. I compared Music Has the Rights to Children. Here is the original of the Campfire Headface. Also a double album. We have here the fantastic Geo Gaddi. Beautiful jacket, really a beautiful jacket, amazing. This release is really big, with beautiful, with really beautiful inner sleeves. This is a 3-rack disc set. Come on, let's take the time and have a look at it, because this jacket and the inner sleeves are really a piece of art. And you know, again, this is the original, and look at the shape of those inners. This is so happy that I found those. They are like new. And then this one is so big, I have to take a second. Inner sleeve. So here are the 3 vinyls, also in a beautiful shape. I show the back of the jacket again, now that you can see it, the inners. And there is a 4th one where I didn't have, and I don't have the reissue. If there is one, I also have the Peel Sessions from Boards of Canada. And yeah, then there's an album from 2013, which you can get until now, I think, easily. So this is a little bit out there. Yeah, but okay, now let's concentrate on the comparison between the original pressings and the reissues. As I said, the reissues I always liked them. I still like them. But, and that was so interesting, now we compare relatively young releases, as I said, 25 years, but still what are 25 years compared to a release from 1970, 67, 65, 76, which we are usually doing now. But I was surprised about the difference. The dynamics and the punch and the attack of the original is so much better on these originals that, as I said, I really was surprised. But consider one thing. Those originals are among the very, very best electronic records sound-wise I have ever heard. I didn't expect them to be so hot, so clear, so much punch. The bass is breathtaking on those. Still, the reissues do sound good, but the originals are breathtakingly good, which was a huge surprise to me, due also to the way they produce those records when they are doing them. So I would have never ever thought that there can be such a big difference. The reasons, I don't know. I just can explain what I've heard here on my equipment. I just can share my impression. I can't do anything more. But that was quite striking. And that is one of the reasons I now will go every now and then into this kind of releases, into this kind of music. Also because I think there are so groundbreaking musicians and so groundbreaking records in that area from the early 90s until 2002, 2003, that it's really, really worth getting into them a little more, especially as they have not been covered, at least on this channel, adequately. So I will fill this gap over the upcoming months, so don't be afraid if you're not into this kind of music so much. There also will be the other stuff, of course, but I think this is quite interesting. And you know, on the OBC, we have some saying, if you see this label or if you see this certain sticker on the record, buy it, get it. And what I can say now, if you see in Boards of Canada original, if you see one and the shape convinces you and you like the music, get it, get it. They are amazing. Took me quite some time to get them. Now I have them. I'm very happy. I will. You know, I'm everything but a fan of heavy rotation. But if something is close to heavy rotation, they are. Okay. Thank you for your time. See you on the next one. Bye.